Hello everyone and welcome to my coloring corner. Today is Saturday and we are going to take a look at the things I've colored this week, finishing off the page that we colored last weekend, and then we're going to get started on the new page. We're going to be coloring the outdoor page today. So this is from Bingo. This is Regal. So I did get her done. So Regal is finished. And put that back there. And I also got the one that we were working on finished. So I used a marker. I fought tooth and nail on what I was going to use for the background, and marker just seemed to give me that dark background that I wanted. So I did it in marker and of course a white pencil. So that one is also complete. This one is Makes Me Happy, which is a portrait. I like coloring portraits. They make me happy. So those are all done. We are going to be using the Woomer 133 pencils. Like, this is the two different sets of the Woomers put together. This is a 72 set that you can get on Amazon, plus the 90 set that you can get on the Woomer website. Both links are below the video, as well as the swatch chart that you're looking at as well. And yeah, this book is also listed on the listing below the video. Hello, Mandy. Hello, Calamity. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, Desert Nails. Welcome, Sue. Welcome, everybody out there in Lurker Land. I'm so glad you're all here. I'm going to zoom on in and we're going to get started. My husband is home from work, so we are going to spend the day doing things. I'm going to start at the top, I think. Maybe the bottom, because I want to do the background when I do the top part. So we're going to start at the bottom, where all the intricate details are. I love this little door. I gotta stop seeing things as I go along. I see little things all the time and it's so cute. All right, so we're going to do the chair in gray greens. I love these gray greens that are in here. And I'm going to use this one as well. Yeah. Hello, Connie. Welcome, welcome. Yes, Bob made it home safe and sound. He'll be here for this week, and then next week he'll be heading back out again. So we're going to start with earth green. Which is number 491. Yeah. Yeah, he'll be home for this week. Next week he'll be back in Wisconsin. And we'll be doing that for, I think, 3 months. I start my new job on the 26th, so I'm waiting for my computer to arrive, and they're sending me a computer just for work, so a laptop. And I'm just putting a very light layer of the earth green. We'll be adding more color to that later. I don't know if you can see it very well, but Hello, Jeanette. Welcome, welcome. Awesome. I figured it was a good page for outdoor. It didn't do the camping or that sort of thing. And it ties in the relaxation, enjoyment of reading, enjoyment of books, and all that fun stuff. So it really spoke to me. I don't read a whole lot, but I do enjoy a good book when I do read. I used to read all the time. Then they came out with things like the internet. And I stopped reading as much. That and my eyesight decided that it was going to go for a poop, and it started bothering me to read. So I did a full review of the 90 set plus the 72 set yesterday. So if you haven't seen it, it is available there. I think it was Carol said that they might be coming out with open stock, which is awesome. I hope they do, because there are some pencils that I know I'm going to go through. Hello, Yana. Welcome, welcome. Okay. I didn't see them there when I was looking, so I'll have to see if there's maybe an area that I didn't find. I was quite surprised on how quickly these came in. They were saying that they wouldn't be coming in until February, and they were in my mailbox a lot quicker than I was expecting. Hello, Alex. This one or the ones all in the trees? Which one? Now I'm using jade green. Hello, Catherine. Welcome. I didn't have any broken pencils. They were, the package wasn't in pristine order. The drawers are a little wonky, but I was quite surprised on how quickly they came in. But that's what pencil cases are for anyway, so. All right, Alex. I was quite happy to see how many um, colors weren't in the 72 set. So there wasn't a lot of duplication. There was some, but there wasn't a lot. Lurk away, Sue, lurk away. Invoices. Ugh. Yeah, yeah. I really am happy that I bought the 90 set. They were a little bit more expensive than I bought the original set with. But like I said in my video, I got a really good coupon. Yes, this is my outdoor prompt. I got a really good coupon back in October of 2024 for the Woomers, and I took full advantage of it. Now there's a light here and a light here, so that's why I'm not getting as dark on that side of the chair. All right. Awesome, Carol. Well, welcome and thank you for popping in. Glad to see you. You know what I say to that, Yana? Get another shelf. Now I'm using the chrome oxide green. Just coming through, putting in those darker shadow areas. And I think think I might have to sharpen my pencil. These are a very soft pencil, so keeping a sharp point on them without sharpening them constantly can be a little tedious. Yep, yeah, absolutely. As long as you're content with what's there, then that's all that matters. But, my outlook on it is I need to have them all. All right, now we're going to come back through with the jade green. Nice. Yeah, I like the drawing pencils too. I need a pencil sharpener. I need this to be a sharper point. Just doing the areas around the buttons for that tufting. No, absolutely. There are some pencils that everybody really enjoys and gravitates to, and that's fantastic. Everybody has their own thing, and that's the great thing about this community is everybody does their own thing, and I love it. Collect pencils like people collect Pokemon, so you know that's just me. That's just what I do. I like collecting pencils. Yep. Yeah, I just like collecting them, so I'll let you guys see them all and you make up your minds whether you like them or not. Okay. Yep. Yep. The Woomers was one of the last sets of pencils I bought before I started going back to work. So I didn't get to use them as much as I would have liked between work and everything else. They kind of got put on the back burner. And I like big sets, so I cannot lie. Excuse me. A bit of a tickle in my throat today. It's a really nice day, but it's really cold. Not as cold as where Bob came from, so he's quite happy not to see the snow on the ground. But for me, it's a little chilly. I still need to do the full Derwent review, but I've already really reviewed them on stream, so that's why I keep on putting it off, is there's not a whole lot more to say that I didn't already say on stream when I was using them, so. Hello, Kenny. Welcome, welcome. Okay, now we're going to go back to the emerald. No, jade. Jade green. How you doing, Kenny? Yeah. Going over the buttons with the jade green. I am doing good. I am doing good. Bob is home, so this is his week home. So it's good to have him home. I slept much better last night than I have all week. It's amazing what little noises your spouse makes in their sleep that most other people might find annoying, but you find so comforting they help you sleep. My husband does snore. He says I do too, but I have never heard myself do it, so I can't guarantee that. Um, and it's a comforting sound to me. It helps me sleep. You don't notice you miss it until they're not there to do it. Yep. Hello, Angela. Yep, definitely drink your coffee. Most definitely. I need to have some. It's on my desk, getting cold. I keep on, whenever I'm streaming, I have a tendency to forget to drink my coffee, which is silly because it makes my throat sore. All right, I think. Okay, now I think I want to put in a little bit of a light yellow green color. Um, let's grab a pale yellow here. So I'm grabbing faint yellow. And we're going to put some faint yellow on the edge of the chair here. In that area that's going to have that glow from the lantern as well as the lamp here. Okay. Now we've got a little bit here. just down here. A little bit on the seat. All right. Ooh, caramel latte. Hello, Kim. Yes, your posts are showing up. I did see it. I hate it when I'm in top chat. But I don't get enough people in my chat sometimes to have it make too much of a difference. I'm still too small for that. Now we're taking that earth green and we're going over everything, blending it all together. Yep. Now I'm not going to put the yellow on this side, but I am going to make sure that that dark area has isn't on that edge there. I want the light to glow there, but I don't want it to show connection to it. This side of the chair has no light. Coffee is a necessity in my house. People don't talk to me until I've had my first cup of coffee. Well, children don't talk to me until I've had my first cup of coffee. I get up early in the morning just so that I can have my first cup of coffee without any interruptions. Is that bad? All right. There we have that part of the chair done. I use a travel mug. That way it never goes cold. I don't like cold coffee. It's just no. Mm-mm. But I also drink my coffee black. So, like with no cream, no sugar. So having it go cold definitely does change the flavor of it. And yeah, no, it is not something I enjoy cold. All right, now for the blanket, I'm going to do that in a soft pink. So let's take a look. I think I want flapper dust. What a funny name for that. And then baby pink. And then pink matter. All right. All right, so this one is number 103, which is flapper dust. And we're going to base everything with it. Also going to take a little bit of that yellow. Make sure we get that glow in there. They do. They seem to just pop out of nowhere when you're least expecting them. I haven't had a Nerf gun shot in my house uh, in years. And every once in a while, I'll find the bullets in places that they shouldn't be. They'll show up under the couch or behind the fridge, or I found one under the stove a couple of months ago. Now I'm using baby pink. Yeah, they're always there. They're yeah. Until we move, then you know I probably won't find too many in the new house, but not until they start shooting Nerf guns off again. But then there's going to be a basement, so you know they can do that downstairs. Alright, now we're going to use the pink matter, and I am sharpening these because I want that sharp, sharp point. These are a very soft pencil, so if you are like me and you prefer to have a really, 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 really sharp point, you are going to find that you're going to be sharpening your pencils a little bit more than some other types of pencils. All right. No, no, it's okay. He's working on it. He has 3 months of trial of training in the new um, position in the company. So he'll be traveling back and forth between here and Wisconsin for the next 3 months. He'll be doing a week here, a week in Wisconsin, and that sort of thing because he's got to train the person that's taking over for him out here, as well as make sure he knows how to do the job that he's moving into as well. Yeah, yeah. My kids used to like to be kids, but they outgrew it, unfortunately. All right, now I'm going to take this one. So I'm going to take cadmium orange, orange, and pale vermilion. And we're going to do this pillow back here. I'm going to start with the yellow orange. And then we're going to come in with the orange. And then the pale vermilion. Okay. And then back through again with the cadmium orange. Blend it in. Now for this one, we're going to do a little bit of sharpening on our light yellow. Oh, nice, Angela. I don't have the 520 set. I've got the 520 brute funer set, and really that's all I need. I've also got the Felissimo set, so having more than that in the 500 sets really isn't extremely necessary. However, nothing is extremely necessary. So what I'm doing is I'm just coming through and I'm just going to add little bits of that yellow coming down from that light. This pillow is going to have a lot more of that light attached to it um, than anything else. So we've got some going through there as well. But this pillow here is going to have that yellow attached to it. Now we're going to come through with, let's do that pillow in purple. Yeah, the Brute squares are great. I do have a tendency with the inexpensive pencils that aren't open stock to only purchase those when I see them on a really good deal, or if I'm, it's a new set that I haven't bought before. I don't. I do tend to try not to buy multiple sets if I don't need to or don't have the finances. 36, yeah, that's about the going rate for them now. You can definitely find them cheaper sometimes. Uh, did you buy them off of Amazon or where did you buy them? But 36 is about the going rate for them now. You can find them every once in a while for like 20, 25, but they have gone up a lot in the past little while. So Amazon. Yeah, it's not too bad. Hi there, Lucy. Welcome, welcome. And hello, Mona. I am so sorry I missed you coming in. Both of you. I do appreciate you coming and hanging out. Mona. Now I'm going to have it in my head. It's okay. All right, now we're going to use. Uh, uh, um, which one was that? Was that grade lavender? Okay, so the first one I've used is grade lavender. And then we're going to use pale violet. Yeah. Yes, I was just informed that as well that they do sell them open stock on their website. I did miss that, and I will put out a correction to that. But yes, I did miss that. Thank you for informing me. Carol did put that in the comments that they were going to be selling the open stock, and somebody let me know. I think it was Jeanette. Let me know that they had them on their website in open stock, which is fantastic. Thank you very much for letting me know, though. That's wonderful. I am so impressed with that. Because there are some colors I am going to go through. Yeah, I didn't see it when I was on there the other day, but I must not have been looking in the right place. Awesome, Lucy. Well, glad to see you here live. I do appreciate it. I always find it difficult to watch recordings of lives. I always want to comment. I have a big mouth, I guess. All right, now one more color here just to give a couple of dark areas. And we're going to use the royal violet or royal purple. Royal purple. Yeah. Now, if they have it open stock, Lucy, what you can do is price it out and see if it's a better deal just to buy all 133 pencils open stock and buy them individually. And that way you're not having to have that additional, I think it was 26, 24 pencils that aren't necessary and basically duplications. Let me know if I'm going too fast with the color names or if you've missed some of the color names. I will go back over them with you. All right. Hello, Taylor. Welcome, welcome. All right. Now we're going to go back over it with the grade lavender. And I'm going right over top of the yellow that I put down earlier because we want the glow to be there, but we don't want it to be that stark yellow kind of heavy color, especially on the purple. Those darker colors will absorb some of that light a little bit. 71 pence. Not sure what that is converted to. Um, converted to US dollars. All right, now we're going to use this one, and this one. So we're going to start with burnt ochre for the legs of the chair. So altogether about 96 US dollars. That's not too bad. That's about what both sets would cost. Because the 90 set is $56 plus tax and shipping, and then the 72 is $40. So, you know, it's about the same price. 75 cents each, yeah. The next one I'm using is chocolate. Doing the majority of this back leg with the darker color. Same with this back panel here. So 95 cents, that's not bad. Yeah, fantastic that they have open stock. That does make it a game changer for a lot of people. And I'll have to adjust. I'm going to actually adjust my starring on that because I didn't think they were open stock, which I was wrong. So we're going to adjust our starring because they are open stock, which brings my rating up to 21 out of 26. So that's really good. 21 out of 26. That's only 5 points off. That's almost a perfect rating. Oh, which one? Chocolate. So I think they compare to the Artisto quite well. The Artisto do feel a little bit harder than the Woomer. The Woomer are a very soft pencil. in comparison to other budget-friendly pencils. But I do like the Artisto, yeah, I can never say that name. I can at some points, and then my mouth says, nope, by the way, you're not saying that. All right, and then the last one is going to be the burnt umber. That's a lot of different colored pencils for one page. Different sets. Trying to get the right colors. I do have a blockage in my brain that doesn't allow me to mix sets sometimes, so but that's just the way my brain works. I am always in awe of people that can go, oh, I need this color from this set and I need this color from this set, and are able to actually mix them, because my brain says, yeah, nope. All right. Now we're going to go back to the lightest color, which is burnt ochre. So I've used burnt ochre, chocolate, and burnt umber on the legs of the chair. All right. Now for our teacup, do that lovely blue. Use this one, this one, and this one. Yeah, yeah. Um, I have an original set of Arteza, so the blue I'm using is Cobalt Teal Blue, number 208. And then we're going to come in with number 232, which is a word that I can't say. So it's phthalo cyan blue. There we go. Phthalo cyan blue. and then bright blue. And then we're going to take that chocolate and we're going to put it in the cup, like so. And we're going to take that light blue and we're just going to blend it. This is the cobalt teal blue. All right. Now we're going to take that light yellow and we're just going to go try to make sure that you don't have it picking up the colors, because it does pick up color. I need my eraser. Didn't like the green that it picked up there. So I'm just going to erase it. Okay, and there we go. Just getting that glow in there for that lamp. There. Now we're going to take leaf green. Yeah, no, I can't mix brands. It's just one of those things my brain says, nope, not doing it. But I also have a lot of different colored pencils, so. Yes, the Ohuhus are actually identical to the Marcos. The new Ohuhus that just came out, are identical to the Marco Renoir. I was on the beta test for the Ohuhu pencils. The first set that they sent out was identical to the Marco um, design series, and then this set was identical to the Marco Renoir um, tribute set. So now we're going to use this one. A little bit of hooker green. So the first green I used was leaf green. This is hooker green. And then we're going to take that yellow. And put a little bit of yellow light in there. And we're going to take this one. A little bit of light cinnamon. I like the brutes. I like the square brutes because of the square pencil. Sometimes it feels better in my hand. Alright, and then we're going to take a little bit of baby pink. Alright, and then we're going to come back with that yellow. This is number 4 faint yellow. Yeah, the square is a 120 set. Um, there's also a 500 set, or yeah, 520 set, and they have several other budget, lower priced ones that are a little bit lower quality, but the ones she's talking about are the 520. All right, so we're going to do the stump. So we've got the lamp done, we've got the chair done. We're going to do the stump. So I am working with the burnt ochre, 542. So Color has a 150 set. They also have a 300 set and a 240 set. They also have a 120 set, 72 set, and so forth. I have all the way up to the 300 set with the Color. They do have that 520 set as well. I have not, I've looked at them and they look a lot like the same colors that I would get in the Brute 520 set, and I already have that set, so I have no need to replace it. So the red tin I do not have. That is a 120 set or a 180 set, one or the other. It might be the 180 set. Now I'm coming through with the chocolate. Yeah, I think that's the 180 set. I didn't like the Black Barrel Brute Funers or Black Barrel Color. They reminded me too much of the Black Barrel Brute Funers. They looked all exactly the same. They had the exact same colors, everything. So it really irritated me. So I have a couple of rant videos on it. So yeah, I can layer with both the soft pencils as well as the harder pencils. I am not very good with squishing. So when it comes to soft pencils, squishing is, what a lot of people do, like with the Prismas and that sort of thing. I don't do well with squishing, so I do tend to use a harder pencil just to make sure that I can layer them adequately. However, I have learned over time that you don't have to squish a soft pencil. You can layer them. You just have to be a little bit gentler with it, and you have to blend it a little bit more with the lightest color that you have used in your combination. But I do layer soft pencils. You have to be a little bit carefuler and you have to turn your pencil a lot more to make sure that you have that sharp point to get that color layered properly. Yeah, yeah, I've heard that the red tin is the better of the two. I think the elephant is the thinner pencils. I think they are more the student grade. I have the ones that come in the teal tins that are colored barrels. I do prefer them to the black barrel ones. All right, now I'm going to go in with the darkest color, which is the burnt umber. I love my Colleens. I really enjoy my Colleen pencils. They're so hard to come by, I don't use them very often, but I do really enjoy using them. Same with my Kohinoor. I like those too. I love all my pencils. I hate trying to pick a favorite because I love them all. They all work for different things. Sometimes it's really hard to compare them. People ask me all the time, what does that compare to? And it's like, I don't know because it's a different pencil. It's a different, you know, it's a different manufacturer, a different part of the country. The pigments are not the same, and sometimes it's really hard to see what a pencil is like compared to a different pencil. Yeah, I like the Kohinoor. They have to be layered. So I find with them they have to have a certain paper and they have to be layered. Hello, Dawn. Yeah, I like the Pablos as well. But I do like my Kohinoor. I have to be in the mood to use them and have the right paper for them, but all right, then I'm going to take a little bit of the jade green. And we're going to add a little bit of color into the bark of this stump. Because it's a stump and it's bark, there's always going to be a little bit of a moss or fungus, as you can see, growing on the bark. So this gives it a little bit of contrast and gives it that look. Right. And again, building that color up, going back over it with the burnt umber. Now I have to remember that this is a night scene, so I have to remember not to put in a lot of bright areas. That this lamp and this lamp aren't going to be touching, because even though there's a sky with stars in that, it is down behind this hedge here. So there's not a lot of light that's going to flow through to this area itself. So I'm coming back through with the chocolate and re-establishing some dark areas here. And I will come back through with the darker color as well. Um, Absolutely. If you want to buy the Colleen's, definitely do so. I really enjoy the Colleen's. But, that is one of those things that um, the Colleen's are one of Monya Gates's favorite pencils other than the Prismas, so she likes the Colleen's as well. Yeah, they are definitely not cheap. The Colleen's are a very expensive pencil. If you can find them cheap, snatch them up. But if you can't, they can be a little bit expensive. And I have yet to find them open stock, so replacing them has been one of the concerns of many. Coming through with the burnt umber again. And just come through until you're satisfied with the darkness of the stump. If you're happy with it being a little brighter, then leave it brighter. Now I'm going to leave the area open here for that lamp light to be hitting it, but the majority of it, because lantern light is not extremely efficient, does not spread a lot. I'm not going to put a whole lot of light below that ledge there. There is never too many. Who says there's too many? There's not too many. I'll tell you if there's too many when I'm packing them to move. All right, so there's our stump. Now we've got this fungus here, so I'm going to use some gray. I'm going to use sandbar brown and warm gray 3. Yeah, they're easier to buy in certain areas than US. So I'm starting with the sandbar brown. I order mine off of Amazon UK, and I have also ordered them off of the Amazon Australia site. They are cheaper, a little bit cheaper. I was never fond of the Ergosofts, but that's just me. I'm going to actually put this in here because my sharpener is no longer sharp and it's bugging me. Yeah, it all depends upon the on the paper. And the type of coloring you do. Now I'm coming through with that warm gray 3. And we're going to come back through with that. Yeah, I don't know about an armored truck, but they will be in a truck. I might have to, put alarm systems on all the boxes, but. Sorry, I'm reading through chat. I missed everything, so. Oh, absolutely. Dollar stores are fun to be in. Hello, Shannon. Oh, I didn't see Shannon. You're just talking about her. Okay, I see, I see. So I know that Emily really enjoys the museum aquarels, and so does Shannon. You are correct there. I'm not sure about, yeah, Angela has them and likes them too, so I think you're probably correct on all of them. All right, now we're going to do the lantern, and we're going to do that in, um, we're going to start with, now this set is a little bit strange. It's got two terracottas. It's got a light terracotta and a dark terracotta. There are different numbers and different colors, and they do separate the word on the pencil. So this is the terracotta that has the two words instead of one. Um, let's just make sure I'm grabbing the right pencil. Yeah, there we go. And this is number 540, which is the darker of the colors. We're also going to use, yeah, we're going to use this one, and we're going to sharpen it really sharp. We're going to do the lantern's base. All right, Connie, thank you so much for coming and hanging out. I appreciate you. And then we're going to take the caput mortem. Hello, B, welcome. Um, Prismas and Faber-Castells. There's a lot of different ones that are lacking in those colors. So um, pretty much anything that will work with either which one. Like anything heavy wax based or a soft pencil like the Woomers will work well with the Prismas. Things that are a little bit harder. Just trying to think of the harder types that are open stock. Will work with the Faber-Castells. Now, if you want something that is going to work well with the Faber-Castells that isn't open stock, the Faber-Castell has a wide selection of artist grade as well as student grade pencils. And I find that the black barrel, the Faber-Castell round black barrel pencils, works really well with the Faber-Castell polychromos, and they have a lot of pinks in them. Yeah, the Harmonia sets work well, but they're not open stock. So, and this is the terracotta that's all one word, which is number 533. And then we're going to take a little bit of that yellow orange. Like that. Now we're going to take our pale So that is the faint yellow. And then we're going to go into a little bit deeper. I'll use this one. So this one is cream. And then we're going to come in with this one. Yeah, I'd have to pull all of my, yeah, the black edition. There's two different sets. There's the black edition that is a round barrel, but there's also a black edition that's a triangular barrel. Both have a really good amount of those pinks in them as well, and they work really well with the polychromos. This one is Sunburst Yellow. And then this one for the flame. Yeah, the black edition are student grade. Well, they're a higher end student grade. There's a red classics, which are, school grade. So, for example, um, elementary school, high school. The black edition are more the higher education level, such as higher high school, that sort of thing, if you want to grade them in that way. Sort of like the red ones are the same as the scholars with the prismas, and the blacks are the same as the premier. There's and the Faber-Castell polys are more of the college, university, professional grade. All right, there we have our lantern. Now we're going to add a little tiny bit of that bright yellow to the chair here. So this is the cadmium orange. Just going to add a little tiny bit of it to that area there for where that lamp light's hitting. All right. Okay. Let's see, what time is it? So we've got about 15 minutes left of the day. So I think we're going to do this stack of books, and then I think we're going to call it good for the day. Oh, the Blicks are good too. The Blick pencils are good too, and you can buy those open stock as well. I don't know if they have a really huge amount of pinks and purples, but they do work well with the Kohinoor have a really good selection of pinks and purples. They're harder pencils, so they'd work better with the Fabers than with the Prismas. Just trying to think of all the different ones I have that are open stock. So I've used cream on all of the book ends. I'm going to take the Sunburst Yellow and we're going to put the Sunburst Yellow on the books that are in contact with that lantern at the base. And then we're going to move up to our lighter yellow. So this is that pale, faint yellow, just on the edges where those light lanterns are going to come in contact with, like that. Then we're going to take, let's see, let's do this one orange. So this book here is going to be orange. We're starting off with orange. I think they do. And then there's pale vermilion. I'm not sure if Blix has that minimum purchase. I haven't bought from them in quite some time. And now that I know that we have one in Portland, just put everything off until I can go there. All right, now we're going to blend with that orange. Take a little bit of the cadmium orange. For blending. There we have our first book. Then we're going to do green. So I'm using our leaf green. And hooker green. Hooker's green. Oh, weird. I am so sorry you're having that issue with chat. That sounds very frustrating. I would be going crazy, Bee. And then we're going to use chocolate. And this one here is going to be chocolate. And then this one's going to be pink. I'm just using all the colors that I already have out. So this one is going to start with baby pink. Take care, Dawn. Now pink matter. And then blend it with the baby pink again. And we're going to take that bright blue. All right, now purple. Yeah, YouTube keeps on messing things up. So the purple one, I'm using the pale violet. And the royal purple. Then we're going to go back over it with the pale violet. And then the edges I'm going to do with the gray. So this is warm gray 3. And this one here, we're going to use jade green. And this one we're going to use Scarlet Lake. And this one at the top is going to be black. All right, Kim. Well, I do hope that you have a great day. Thank you for coming and hanging out. Sorry that your fingers are acting up. All right, then we're going to take that red. And do our bookmarks. Take this. So I'm using the Kaput Mortem for the shadow area in the red. Like so. Same with on the book. Oh, okay. All right. I thought you were leaving. Angela's cooking outside. That's always good. I like grilling outside. I don't like grilling in the house too much. It smokes it up too much. All right, going to do this little bird here. Just debating, maybe not. Yeah, let's do our little birdie friend here. So we're going to start with the sandbar brown. And then we're going to go chocolate. Then we're going to start adding things like terracotta. So this is the darker terracotta, which is number 540. Yeah, 540. And a little bit of pale vermilion. And then just a little bit more of the sandbar. And we're just going to take our blender and just move it around because I don't want to put any other color in there. Like so. All right, going to zoom you out because we are at that time for the end of the day. I know we haven't colored a whole lot, but we did get the chair done and we did get the stump area done. Um, we will come back tomorrow and continue on with this. Hello, Angela. Welcome, welcome. All right, so again, that is the Woomer colored pencils. If you do want to purchase the Woomer 133 swatch chart, it is available on my Ko-fi shop. There is a link to it below the video. Of course, there's also a link to the Woomer colored pencils as well if you do want to upgrade to the larger set. There is an open stock that I have been informed of that I did not know of before. And I even looked, I tried to find it, and I wasn't able to find an open stock option for it, but I was wrong. So there is open stock for these pencils. So if you are one that will only buy because there's open stock, or if there's open stock, these pencils do work very, very nicely. Hello, Shannon. Thank you so much for lurking. I appreciate you. All right, everybody. Thank you all very much for coming and hanging out. For those of you that are coloring along, join me tomorrow and we will continue on from here. We do have little bits of lights here as well that are going to go over that back area, but we will add those as we go along. You know, until next time, always remember to like, comment, and subscribe to any YouTube artist that you enjoy. And of course, always remember to relax, color, and stay safe, everyone. Until next time, bye bye for now.